Hi everyone, we're here with Ryan Schneider from Insomniac Games to talk about Sunset Overdrive. Now this is probably the biggest game that I'm looking forward to from E3. This just really jumped out at me. Being such a big fan of Ratchet and Clank, going back to that quirk that Insomniac is very much known for. I was just really excited to see it. Can you talk a little bit about the story behind Sunset Overdrive and
Sure.
what they'll be playing?
Well, first off, thanks. I mean, there is a lot of Ratchet and Clank DNA here in Sunset Overdrive, and it really just comes from the fact that we've created a unique world that it has humorous elements, but it's still there's a lot of heart in the story. Basically, this is a story about surviving the end times and how different facets of humanity cope with trauma. The year is 2027. We're in Sunset City. There is a company called Fizco that has released a new energy drink called called Overcharge Delirium XT, and it's been sort of rushed through the approvals process. It turns out that it's really bad for you. It turns anybody who drinks it into mutants. And from there, you didn't drink that stuff because you were working a dead-end job and you were actually working the night that we call horror night, when things went south. So now you are faced with the dilemma of saving Sunset City and figuring out how to survive the end times.
Can you tell us a little bit about how the gameplay works? You know, we've seen your customizable character with plenty of guns, but then how do you progress through the game, and how essentially do you finish in the sense?
Well, Sunset Overdrive is a mature open world shooter. It's an exclusive to Xbox One, and it's a very deep experience. You are going to encounter various factions throughout the game. Some of the ones we're talking about are Troop Bushido, which was a group of adult adventure scouts who during Horror Night were near the Japanese Samurai Museum, and they hold themselves up in there, and they've taken towards Bushido Code, and they've become a bit obsessive with that. You also encounter a group called the Fargarths, which are live-action role players, and they were in a park role-playing when Horror Night occurred, and they thought somehow they kind of got group dementia. They got so traumatized by the experience, they thought that they were now, the fantasy that they were ensconced in was actually the reality, and so they think that they basically have retreated into their fantasy world to somehow survive this scenario. And you're going to be working with them along with other factions to survive. You got to watch out for the mutants, the OD. You got to watch out for other humans called scabs, who are just like normal jerks that you would expect in the end times, that are just out for themselves and their own stuff. And then Fizco has its own security bots and security forces that you got to be careful of as well.
Can you talk a little bit about the level of customization you have for your characters?
Sure. Yeah, Sunset Overdrive, one of our main tenets in the game is be who you want to be. You could be male, female, it's gender neutral. You could be whatever race you want to be, and you can customize your character in a number of different ways. We've got tons of customization, crazy outfits. You can mix and match, and there aren't really like RPG type attributes associated with the apparel, because we just want you to be able to express yourself and not have to like wait around necessarily to do it. Although you will have access to more apparel through unlocking opportunities in Chaos Squad, which is our 8-player co-op multiplayer experience.
That's what I wanted to talk about next. So, Chaos Squad, how exactly are you going to be playing together? Is there a cooperative in addition to a competitive element, or is it all just...
Sure. In Sunset Overdrive, the main focus from a multiplayer standpoint is on Chaos Squad, which is a cooperative 8-player experience. And you'll be participating in a multiplayer experience that culminates in something called Night Defense, where basically you are protecting your vats of overcharge from the enemy. How you have options as you play in the Chaos Squad experience. You can basically choose harder missions and get better rewards, or team boosts that make your team better and have a better chance for success, but your rewards are not quite as grand. So you also get to customize your Chaos Squad experience as well.
Now, of everything that you've released so far, what do you think is your favorite weapon that you've been playing with?
Out of every Insomniac game, I've been here at Insomniac 10 and a half years, so I go back, and I've worked on every Ratchet game since the beginning in some capacity. So, for me, I can only go by the first weapon I think of, and that was the Rhino, the Ripia new one in Ratchet and Clank. My favorite was from Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal when it just turned you into little piles of ash. The Sheepinator is up there. The T and Teddy from Sunset Overdrive is amazing. Resistance Fall of Man. I forgot the name of the weapon, but it was like the goop gun, and you could like chain together goop traps and like hang them, and they would like drop from the ceiling, and you can make patterns with your goop stuff, and it was really cool. So it's great to have such a long list of weapons to choose from.
Definitely. Now, Sunset Overdrive is going to be released when?
Sunset Overdrive is going to be released exclusively on Xbox One on October 28th in North America.
Thank you very much, Ryan.
No problem. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.